is going on, guys? We are back at the shop. We have the Coyote swapped Fox body pulled in, and I've actually already been tinkering with it a little bit today, and I got a few tweaks. I sent off the stock file to Rob the Tune Maker Shoemaker over at Palm Beach Dyno. We're gonna hopefully start some street tuning. It's got 88mm pulley, but this car weighs, it's light. So it should make somewhere in the neighborhood of 700 horsepower on that setup. We're gonna try to dial it on a street, assuming everything is good and ready for the street. And then once that is all dialed in A-OK, we'll go over to a dyno and put a smaller pulley on it and turn her up. So I've already noticed a few things that do need to be fixed up. So there was some tape covering these holes right here. So I decided that definitely needs to be done. There's also an issue with the PCV over here, which I think I'm also going to RTV this up so that, you know, that is sealed, because we can't have any vacuum leaks post MAF. That will cause some serious issues with the tune. So this definitely needs to be covered up. So we're definitely gonna get that squared away. I think I also wanna put it on the drag pack today. I think it would look sick, and hopefully we can start some tuning. I have spent some time getting the shop cleaned up. I do want this one to primarily be the kind of nice lift. Try to keep things nice and clean over here, and then over there can kind of be the teardown lift. Ignore there is some mess in the shop, but I'm definitely working through kind of getting everything organized. This car is almost ready to be brought outside. I'm taking the body harness out of it, and the Camaro, we got to drop the rear end out of it, and then this one can go out in the yard as well. The drift car obviously just parked there basically for storage till I get to put the new Mishimoto radiator in it. We do have this bad unit right here, NPR sleeved Coyote, CNC ported heads, cams, just a rowdy engine right here. So this one I am actually trying to sell complete. Most likely needs just a refresh, go through it and rebearing it, re-ring, and let her eat. So that is a pretty cool engine right there. If you guys are interested in something like that, it's sleeved, it's cammed, it's got lockouts, pretty much all of the above. So pretty rowdy engine setup right there. I did hint at it in the other video, but this right here is no slouch. This is a rowdy engine combo. We'll leave the details for later. So the idea I came up with is to use this right here. I'm gonna cut it, and then we're gonna RTV that to cover the hole. I think that should hopefully work out well, or the two holes there. So let's go ahead and get this started. We got a brand new Milwaukee angle grinder, and we're gonna get it knocked out. All right, so I did get our piece cut. I can't find any RTV here, so I'm gonna have to go to the store and just get that swapped on there. Not too big of a deal. Then we should be squared away on vacuum leaks as far as I can tell at the moment. We do also need to go ahead and figure out a solution for getting this intake down, because once we start going, we're gonna get some MAF wash with the air coming through here. It's gonna kind of run like crap other than wide open throttle, because the MAF is seeing such a inconsistent airspeed. So I'd like to see if we can remove this reservoir, relocate it, twist kind of the intake, and see if we can get the filter down in this general area, because that would really be ideal. And then on top of getting that lower, we can also, you know, fit a hood on this car as well. So Rob Shoemaker at Palm Beach Dyno just sent me a tune, fired it up, and it does in fact run, and it runs smooth. Now the issue, and the reason why we picked up this car and the reason why the owner sold it, is because the car needs some wiring help. It needs a harness, so the wide bands are offline currently. And the previous owner's theory and Power by the Hours theory is that the car needs a harness. Conveniently enough, we actually just took apart a 2014 Mustang GT, and I believe we have the harness that we need. So this plugs right into the trans, and I believe this is all one harness. So I believe if we go ahead and plug this sucker in with the wide bands and all the ground and everything we need off of this, I do believe that we should in fact be ready to go and we can start data logging. I believe we will have wideband. So this is the harness we need for the car. So I'm gonna work on trying to chase down the existing harness that is similar to this, get it pulled off the car, and start wiring this guy in. All right, so I am going ahead and removing the harness, but the exhaust is really just kind of goofy. This part, just driving around, was rubbing the drive shaft. So I'm just gonna pull this exhaust off and we're gonna completely redo it. Might be data logging it open headers, but I'd rather do that than run this. There's a snapped off exhaust hanger right here, and I really just like to get this whole cat back out of here. All right, so what you can see right here is this right here is the harness we pulled out of the car. This is the 2014 Mustang GT 6R80. I have never done this before, haven't even looked it up, but I'm just kind of guessing that the starter battery harness is not actually connected. They're just taped together. So what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and chasing this through, which it looks like my theory is correct so far. It looks like this is gonna come out, that's gonna separate, and then we're gonna be left with our trans harness that just plugs in. So I'm gonna spend some time kind of separating out these harnesses, and I'll update you guys. All right, so I spent some time getting this harness stripped, and I think we're ready to go ahead and test it. So I do have the harness connected to the Power by the Hour PCM up inside. Obviously, this is a test. So we have the wires coming down. They come down around. We got wideband 1 plugged in. I believe the driver's side is the longer one because this harness from the factory is designed to run down this passenger side. So hopefully these are correct. Now, the only wire that is linking this to the E-Pass system, which is the electric power assist steering, is this one purple wire. Guess what? That one ties into the widebands, which I find very interesting. So rather than just cutting it, I would like to go ahead and test to see if this works with the wideband, see if we get a reading. If we do, let's cut this wire and see if this wire is necessary or not. If it does not work at all, well, there's a possibility we need something that's in this connector right there. All right, so the Fox is definitely gonna be quite a bit louder. All right, so you obviously couldn't hear me, but the widebands are still offline, so we're gonna have to investigate a little bit further. Okay guys, so I am probably gonna run out of daylight here pretty soon, but my theory was correct. So it was spot on to not go ahead and cut the purple wire that does run to the wideband. Check it out. So this harness is in fact necessary, even though pretty much most of the seller stuff doesn't actually do anything. Now, if I unplug the existing one, the car won't start. So there's definitely a starter ignition here. Other thing I noticed, these two are pinned completely wrong. The working theory was that this was an F-150 harness that's in the car, and we have a Mustang one, and that's what we need. So I think if we trace down these wires where they go, swap them over to this one, and we should be ready to start with widebands. All right, guys, so we had some success last night. Getting the widebands working. After thinking about it, they showed like 20 plus AFR. But I don't have any exhaust on it after the header, so I'm guessing that there's just too much open air around it and it's not getting good reading. So we're going to kind of make some sort of rigged exhaust, just get a good wideband reading. We obviously need to redo the full exhaust. I'm also going to go ahead and get the our little bracket here. I'm going to get this on and sealed onto the cold air right here, so we don't have a vacuum leak here. Just like that. I think that should work here, at least for the time being. It's not like the cleanest thing, but it's just what I can think of. That'll be an easy way to plug that up. The RTV is still drying on the intake right here, but I think it should be okay to go ahead and start it. I got part of the exhaust back on. Like I said, I'm leaving this off because it ended up kind of falling off and hitting the drive shaft, which was not cool. So we're going to leave that off. We're going to redo the full exhaust and kind of figure out what John wants to do for exhaust, whether he wants it loud or quiet. Right now, it is open header to just some pipe to bring it further downstream. And watch the engage. It's very loud. Awesome. Fueling looks perfect. Alright, so obviously that's the old harness that did not work with this. That's because it's an F-150 harness. So they are pinned out very differently, and yeah, so no longer going to be using that. So now that we have proven that our concept works, and we got wiring kind of running everywhere, we're gonna loom and clean up all these wires and run them through the car, and we're also just gonna kind of check everything, secure everything, make sure that this thing is gonna be legitimately ready to actually drive on the street and not just a dyno, because I'd like to get this dialed in on the street before we go onto a dyno. At least I know the wiring as of this second is there, and the car's running awesome. You saw fueling, rate in check, Rob the Tune Maker Shoemaker, he's got that. Looks like we also have a little bit of a power steering leak, so we're also going to address that here really quick. But overall, I got a little bit of work ahead of me, and it's not really something that I'm going to be able to film a lot of, just because it's a lot of tedious stuff. It's, you know, chasing down these wires, you know, trying to make sure everything is neat. So we got obviously the wires running here to the alternator. These are the ones that I just ran. We're going to loom everything and just make sure. We also have an intercooler pump that's just right here, and it can kind of move freely. So a lot of this stuff, I just need to look at it and spend some time trying to figure that out. I forget if I said it earlier or not. The video quality is probably not the best here at this shop, but it should step up quite a bit next week. We have someone coming out to run some lights down the way, so I'm really excited for that. We're getting some LED lights, and hopefully we'll start brightening up the shop. There's also a bunch of stuff in here when we moved in. So we're slowly working through kind of getting rid of the stuff that was already in here. But yeah, forklift still very stuck. Hopefully Monday we'll be getting that out. But overall, I am very happy with the Fox body so far. We haven't really decided exactly what we're going to do in terms of, you know, restoration. Obviously the car looks, if you didn't know what this car is and what this engine is, you think this car is a total pile of crap. However, it's actually pretty much rust free. The underneath everything, I think there's only one rust spot, and it's a very common one right here. So this is definitely something we are going to be addressing. But other than that, this car is like super clean, and it's actually like pretty much ready to be a full-on race car slash street car. It's pretty wild. I'm very excited for that. We are on break-in oil. This is a fresh engine. Like I said, we're gonna keep it a little bit of a secret what engine combo there is here, but just know that it is 4-digit capable in a, let's just say, very light chassis. So I'm a little bit scared to drive it. We do currently have a wagon wheel pulley. Got an 88, and we'll probably be going to a 69 at some point, boys, but this thing's gonna put this car right on that back bumper. So it'll be interesting. All right, so I'm working on cleaning up the wiring here. I just loomed those multi-wires there, working on some zip ties. We got Cruz rolling up. He's actually picking up the built rear that I have right here. And he just came from North Carolina, so pretty sick. He's got his truck right here. So we got Cruz here, drove down from North Carolina. You know, no burnouts on the way over here, I don't think.
That one would catch on fire.
Yeah, I mean,
I hope not.
You know, we got a burnout pad like right over here-ish. We don't have any good marks yet though. The Camaro didn't really do that great of burnouts. It only did first gear, so you don't really see anything. Ignore my extremely stuck forklift. But right here, we have the 33 spline, Mosier, built rear end, aerospace brakes, 5/8 studs, upper control arm, also the anti-roll bar, and should be good to go in your car.
I hope so.
Yeah, you had the same failure my GT500 had, a chip to ring gear. So I don't know why it happens. Doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, mine backed out, the main caps backed out.
I checked my main caps and they were fine.
Like we just hand loose.
Really? Did I send you the video of mine?
No.
It was pretty rough.
We'll have to drop it in the video.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is sick. So it's braced, it's welded, and then it's already got these tabs here for the anti-roll bar too. So you should be ready to go, and yeah, with your 800-ish horsepower car. Yeah, let's get this thing loaded.
Grab here.
Really easy.
I gotta take the lid off this thing. I need the aluminum stars.
Yeah, they're light. So, about to transform the Fox from stock-ish to drag pack in one clip. And just like that, drag pack is on. Looks absolutely sick. Got some good fitment in the rear. Looks like it'll fit the tire. It looks like it's ready to roll, ready to make some power, make some hits. just gotta clean up my wiring and should be able to test it out and do some data logging. What you think?
I need them. Looks so good.
Yeah, I think the video goes out tonight on picking this thing up. I don't know what people are gonna think, but you know, it's always a mix between, like, some people are like, oh, you got more projects, what the hell? But like this, I mean, I told you what I paid for it.
I would have bought it too.
Yeah,
I would have bought it too.
You can't pass this up, especially for being mostly turnkey, minus some minor cleaning up and zip ties and whatever else.
It drove on the trailer, I guess.
Yeah, drove on the trailer. I mean, everything's here. You know, it's got all the good parts to make some good ass power. So I really just got to dial in this wiring harness, which I already loomed this up. Got this. Got some intercooler pump to fix up, and then run the wire harness from here out around, and then it should be good. I think you're pretty loaded up now.
This happens to me everywhere I go.
They're good deals.
Yeah, good deals, yeah.
Then I don't have to ship. Very nice. Let's see, we got Corbos, built rear, some front aerospace brakes, BMR safety loop, anti-roll bar. He'll be set.
Just need a cage now.
I kind of have one of those, but
And a fire extinguisher. Need to put a fire extinguisher in the car.
this will be his next purchase over here.
Oh my goodness.
Got one more part to load up. S550, 355 rear gear differential. Got all the race car parts. All right, guys, so I just finished looming up the trans harness. So now we just need to figure out the best routing to keep that away from the hot exhaust and get it plugged in. So it is all plugged in the car, and ultimately it came out pretty good. So the harness, we reused some loom, we electrical taped it up, and there we are. We are good to go. So I am going to try to get this in here and then try to get the car started and outside so I can at least get some cool video and photos of the car on the drag pack. And maybe we'll start some data logging, maybe not. I guess we'll find out here in a little bit. All right, guys, so I spent a lot of time working on the Fox yesterday and last night, and I got it pretty much all ironed out. I fixed the power steering leak, I fixed the brake leak. It actually had Cobra brakes. I grinded down the rear banjo bolt so it fit the 15s. Trans harness is all through, it's loomed. I tightened everything or buttoned everything away from the heat and all that. I fixed the vacuum leaks on the blower, intake, and you can see the loom that I have here. I need to just cut these zip ties. I also got the intercooler pump nice and tight, so I think we are ready to data log. Probably in the next video we should be ready to start data logging and make some hits, but she fires right up, and yeah, I'm really excited about this one. Guys, make sure you hit the like button down below, leave a comment, let us know what you think of the nasty Fox body. Next video, hopefully we're making hits and data logging it. So stay tuned for more. Make sure you go check out Freedom Parts Outlet, our website. We have parts and everything else going on. And then MustangLifestyle.net. We have merchandise and all that stuff. So we will see you guys in the next one.